Well, welcome back to SAFC Live. Sunderland have come away with all 3 points from the MKM Stadium. Hull City were the opponents this afternoon. It was a strange game in the fact that there wasn't very many chances for either side, really, but Jack Clarke doing what he does best and scoring one of his trademark goals.
Yeah, it's the difference, wasn't he? And he's been that a few times this season, but as you say, it was a strange one. I think it was cagey at times, both teams trying to play out. And then at times it was quite open and frantic, and both teams having a bit of a go towards the end of the game. But that was the difference, wasn't it? That man there coming in off that left-hand side. We've seen it before, 11 goals this season. So back-to-back defeats. Said it, didn't we, just before we come off air there. I said earlier on, I'd go down there today and take a scruffy, dirty 1-0 win. And in a way, that's proved to be the case.
Let's have a look back through the action then, and we can discuss some of the moments throughout the game. Sunderland, of course, getting the goal in the 82nd minute. But it was the first half where we found it a bit of a cagey affair. Hull City happy to have the ball and not really play with any intensity either side. It was a game where Sunderland shaded the possession probably as well. Yeah. But we thought we might be on one of those occasions where we would have nothing to show for it again. But in the end we have.
Yeah, well, I think we were the better team as well, especially going there as the away team against the side who were sat in the playoffs. I think we played the better football. That we frustrated them. We said it at half time, you could hear from the crowd. They were getting on their backs a little bit towards the break, weren't they? Which is obviously a sign that we're doing something right. But yeah, as you say, we were thinking, is it going to be another frustrating one where, we're having a lot of good play, a lot of nice football on the eye, getting to the final third, getting to their box and no end product. But just that difference, isn't he? Jack Clarke, that's what he does, that's what he brings to the team. And Teddy Fye's fullbacks, really. I think he didn't have to go past Cyrus Christie. We'll get onto the goal in a minute, but just shifts it half yard and naturally coming in on his favoured right foot and almost just passed it into that far right corner. And that's proved to be the difference. And as you say there, I think leaves us in the playoffs now, taking Hull's position.
Yeah, just looking back through some more of these moments as we watch the game unfold. Bradley Dack going off with an injury despite starting this afternoon. Let's hope it's not too bad for Bradley, because Adil Al-Shish replaced him and he did have an effect on the game.
Yeah, he's always busy and bright, isn't he? He wants to get on the ball, doesn't go hiding. He tries to make things happen. Nearly got in, didn't he, setting off where Alex Pritchard slipped him in. Just defended it enough just to hold him off before Ingram come and claimed it. And yeah, from their point of view, I thought disappointing. Connolly had that good opportunity, didn't he, right after half time. I think Delap was their most likeliest. I think he's a bit of a threat, he's a big powerful lad, he could run, he got a good strike away, and that's safe from Anthony Patterson after Patrick Roberts had just had that good chance, didn't he, a moment or so earlier on. There was one or two shouts for a penalty on that, but it's straight into Seri's face, isn't it, when you see it on the replay. So the referee got that one right. And then this is, as we say, a little spell in the game really where both teams were having a go. It was opening up and Delap there saves handful, didn't catch hold of that at all after he wiggled his way through, didn't he? Spun on it there, opened up for him and ball just scuffed it into the gloves of Anthony Patterson. I thought Pierre Ekar was much better today, involved, so a little give and go there. And,
everyone played better from
there's some good performances, start with the lads at the back. Anthony Patterson included in that, because he's had a couple of dodgy moments in the last couple of games, hasn't he? Obviously Bristol City and then the third goal against Coventry. Today made one or two good saves when he was called upon. Centre backs again, outstanding. Full backs done their jobs. Jensen Seelt coming into the back four for Niall Huggins. Thought he had a decent enough game at right back, and a clean sheet for the boys. We need to get more clean sheets, obviously, after shipping 3 against Coventry the other day. And here you see when you've got to defend, you've got to switch on them and make it count, and you're getting bodies and getting blocks in, and then that scoreline stays as it is, and then you're just waiting for those opportunities on the counter-attack. And this is what we're all about, and it's just, for one reason or other, it just won't happen for Patrick so far this season in front of goal. I think Jack does everything right there, kills it. I mean, you can say the angles against him, he's sort of edge of the 6-yard box, isn't he? Takes a good touch out of his feet, and then the keeper there just stands up and reads it almost to his right hand side and gets a good glove on it. And then they come up the other end. This is the one, wasn't it? Good save from Anthony Patterson. Again, similar for Delap. Angles going against him, but he packs a good bit of power behind it, looking for that far corner, and it's a good save from Anthony Patterson. And they obviously made the change. Coyle had to go off, didn't he, with that injury? He was feeling it. Cyrus Christie coming on, as you say, is a good defender, a decent defender, certainly at this level.
Well, there must have been some thinking from the fact that he didn't start against Jack Clarke, though.
Yeah, a bit peculiar. I think Coyle is a decent defender. We've seen him before in the past, but I think it was 20-25 minutes in where he felt his ankle, didn't he? So he obviously wasn't right. You could see that with him, and Jack was getting a good bit of joy. And here's one there, and that's pretty similar to what we'll see for the goal, isn't it? Similar position on the pitch where he shifts it inside Cyrus Christie, but when he gets his goal, which we'll see, he finds that far corner. But yeah, just pleased really for the boys in that. I think people will say, what was the difference in that performance to the one against Coventry? Not too much for me. You know, similarities where I think we tried to dominate the ball. There was some good link-up play at times. Final third, it was lacking. You know, getting into good positions, but opportunities weren't quite there. Wick and the goalkeeper enough. But the difference is, at the end of the day, we've managed to put the ball in the back of the net, and we managed to keep the ball out of our net. So that is the difference in football at times, fine margins.
Stuck in an opportunity there for Tyler Morton. Lokilo came on late on. He was putting those balls in for the last 20 minutes or so, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a strange one because he gave it away 3 or 4 times when he first came on, and then he didn't want to go on the outside. He just kept shifting it inside and just hanging balls up with his left foot to that far post area. And there's that one I was on about there for O'Shea's Alex Pritchard off the bench trying to find him. Defender does well, just blocks his run a bit, and it allows the keeper to come just outside his 6-yard box and to get onto it. And I'll have a look now. I think, is this the goal now? I think it is. Driving, see Christie there, driving him back into the box, and then
it's absolute trademark, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, we've seen him score several of those types of goals, haven't we, for Sunderland in his time at the club. As I say, he doesn't actually go past his man. Difficult because if you're coaching, you know, Cyrus Christie, saying show him the line, but you don't want to overcommit because Jack's got that little burst in where he can go past him to the byline. So he thinks he's got him in a good position there, and then all of a sudden he just chops it back a yard, and it's just like a firm side foot finish into that far corner. And Jack's delighted. Job in there behind him as well. And the
He'll be delighted.
Staff, yeah, absolutely delighted after a nightmare start, really, wasn't it, against Coventry, and then to go away from home and then you pick up 3 points on the road. Nothing better. A dirty 1-0 win, thanks very much, back on the bus.
Sticking through some of these final moments here. Morton involved, and
yeah, that little nervy moment there, wasn't it? It's fizzed across and Luke's in a good position, and it just gets stuck under his feet. I think he cuts it out with his left foot and then manages to stab it clear, and Trey's there to help out. So yeah, fantastic, pleased for the boys, and can we get going again now in a good position into the playoffs? Got to stay in there. Let's
see the scores from around the championship this afternoon. Then a couple of early kickoffs and a couple of still to play as well. A couple of tasty ones for your evening's viewing. In the early game, Preston North End, they beat Leeds by 2-1. Millwall also won in the other early game against Queen's Park Rangers. In the other games, Cardiff City 2, Plymouth Argyle 2, Coventry City 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Huddersfield Town 3, Blackburn Rovers 0, Rotherham United 1, Middlesbrough 0. Sunderland, of course, travel to Rotherham United on Friday evening. Southampton 5, Southampton 5, Swansea City 0. A big result there for Southampton. Russell Martin going back to his old club, of course. Watford 1, Bristol City 4. West Brom 1, Norwich City 0. And still to play this evening, Birmingham against Stoke and Ipswich against Leicester City. That Birmingham game getting underway in about 4 minutes' time. What's it do to the table then? Unbelievable. Sunderland in 6th position here, Danny.
Yeah, we are, yeah. And that's what happens, isn't it? Look, we've dropped down to 10th. Tight pack in there, in amongst it. I think you look down to Leeds, don't you? You've got that 6-point gap to West Brom. And then it's all to play for, isn't it, after there? As I say, I still fancy those 2 places, 5th and 6th, up for the grab. Still a lot of football to play, you know. If one of those other teams drop right off it, Leeds or Southampton, then they might come out of that pack as well. But yeah, we've just got to keep churning the games out, keep on winning, and go down to Rotherham, as you say, Friday. People will look at the table, they're down there, but they've had a good 1-0 win against Middlesbrough today at home. And we've been there in the past, and we've come away on the back of a high, didn't we, a season or 2 ago. So yeah, we've got to go again. Confidence from today, back on the road, and can we go and get back-to-back wins?
Let's have a look at your thoughts around the world on hashtag AskDanny. This one's from Pete, who says, tweeting live play-by-play for ALS magazine from Grangeville, Idaho, USA. What are your thoughts on us playing a 3-5-2, Danny, with two true strikers?
Yeah, I think obviously, I tend to think sometimes what's our best formation, trying to jiggle it around, how can we get the strikers into the team, how can we get them scoring goals? Is do we go with one? We're not even playing an out-and-out striker at the minute, are we? Joe was up there again today, who actually I thought done quite well, back to play, trying to hold it up. But yeah, what system? You can play a 4-4-2 diamond, a 3-5-2 as you've mentioned there, trying to get strikers onto the pitch, possibly. But then, I tend to start with who's your best players and where would you go with them. So where do you play Jack Clark to start with? What's his best position? I think we've seen that. Everybody knows that on that left-hand side. Now, if he's on about playing a 3-5-2, then you're asking Jack maybe to do a little bit more defensively, aren't you? Helping out. He does that, by the way. He does put a shift in, helping out whoever's playing behind him. But I'm not sure. It's a good question. I know what he's trying to get at. He's trying to get at, obviously, getting the strikers onto the pitch. Can we go as a pair? Even when we've played strikers, it tends to be a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. So it's only a Roostin or Mason Burstow, Mayenda, whoever up there on their own. So can we get maybe a couple of strikers on the pitch at the same time? Again, you look at it today, neither of them have got off the bench, have they? Well, three of them haven't got off the bench. Yeah. With Alex Pritchard obviously coming on, who's not a natural striker either. So it's a good question. I'm sure it's something they look at. We obviously went to a back three against Leeds a couple of weeks ago. That worked on that day, but sometimes you assess your opposition, where are their weaknesses, what system do they tend to play as well, and how can we break them down. But at the same time, you've got to concentrate on yourself and what is our strongest formation or setup, what do we feel, and what players can go into those positions. And again, I know he keeps asking about the strikers, and we keep getting asked about strikers, but we're not seeing them performing in training as well. What are they doing or what aren't they doing to force their way into the team with the likes of Job or Alex Pritchard, O'Sheesh, whoever, getting in the team ahead of them and playing in their position. So,
okay.
Question.
Let's move on to another thought then here on #AskDanny from Andy, watching the match from Tasmania. A nice 2 a.m. wake-up call. How are the lads? Thanks for tuning in, Andy. And this one comes from Shajuo. It says it's 12:30 a.m. in Malaysia. How are the lads? Thanks for tuning in. Anthony's been in touch. Would you accept mac and cheese on a Christmas dinner, Danny? Got an American in the farm who puts that ahead of cauliflower cheese. Danny, you got an American in the family. Did they have mac and cheese on the...
No mac and cheese. No, I think that gravy's not massive in the States by all accounts, yeah. So I was surprised at that one. But mac and cheese, not sure it belongs on a Christmas dinner.
Yorkshire puddings on a Christmas dinner for you?
Yeah, we had this before, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yorkshire puddings, 100% on a Christmas dinner. They were on there yesterday. Pigs in blankets, I know they wouldn't have been on yours either. No, mac and cheese, I think there's cauliflower cheese didn't even make it onto ours yesterday, so too much going on. No, I think mac and cheese, save that one for another day. Okay
then, Sunderland supporters, what else have you had to say? Ollie's been in touch. Is Jude Bellingham a Sunderland fan? Well, he's been pictured at the last couple of games. He's also wearing a Sunderland scarf this afternoon. He's a Sunderland fan.
Yeah, regular, isn't he? Season ticket holder now, enjoyed his trip to the stadium. Well, not the results on against Coventry. Away trip today for him down at Hull. But no, fantastic to see him over. Obviously, he's got the time off, I think.
Winter break,
Madrid having a break. Good to see him come and see his family, supporting his brother. Got the red and white scarf on there. Smiles all around at the end. Enjoyed his trip back over to England.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, then we go again on Friday evening here on SAFC Live. Friday evening, 7:45 kickoff down at the ACL New York Stadium. Rotherham United are Sunderland's next opponent, so we'll be on air from 7 p.m. for that one. You get your matchday streaming passes right now at safc.com, unless, of course, you're travelling down with the faithful who saw Sunderland win this afternoon on Boxing Day. We'll see you soon.